Everyone's fun around. My name is Jordan, and what a wild day in the NBA. We have mafia leaders who are upset, and I heard this one in particular is not very happy with his people. So, with that, let's get into these plays. I see guys like Andrew Nimhar leading the game early, and I know there was some hype for him in that game, but. Yeah, investigate everyone. But I'm going to jump right into this. You will see images that come up on the screen right here. That's from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And it's a pretty big slate for Friday. I'm going to narrow it down just to 3 plays that I really love. Don't want to overthink things. And we have just a tiny bit of data of this season to start to go off of. The first few days, it's kind of we're just, it's a shot in the dark, and we're just going off last year. And I do have some data from last year for these, but this first guy absolutely crushed it to end the season last year. And on this channel, we just kept taking his over and over again, and he kept cashing for us. And it's DaVon Mitchell of the Heat over 10.5 points versus Memphis at -111. So like I said, finish off the year really great last year. Tyler Hero is still out, so that means more volume's going to go around. And I think the pickup of Norman Powell is kind of underrated. I really do like Norman Powell in this matchup because of Memphis's pace that they play at. They were the fastest team in the league last year, and they have started off this season playing at a top 5 pace in the league. I know it's just one game, but they still want to play at that fast pace, and all it does is help people hit their overs. I really don't hate Norman Powell in this matchup, but I feel like DaVon Mitchell's line is just a little bit low for what he has done recently, and that goes into the playoffs and leading up to the playoffs and everything. So in his last 20 games that he has played, he has hit this in 85% of games with just 3 different misses. In the opener, he played 35 minutes, and he did not shy away from taking a lot of volume, which I love, and that's why I feel good about this play. So he took 15 shots, and he scored 16 points. Memphis gave up the 6th most points last year. A lot of that had to do with the pace that they played at. And the AI, I did not consult with the AI the past couple of days, but I did with the very first video, and the very first video has been the best one so far. So going back to it, and I'm going to go with it for the rest of the year. But with that, I'm not just like, hey, AI, is this going to hit? It's got a model, and it just breaks down a projection. Kind of takes in the pace, it takes in defensive rating, it takes in usage, it takes in potential assists, rebounds, or whatever, the play is and all that, and it puts it all together, and it gives a projection. So it likes him for 13 points, which I think is reasonable with a 65% confidence on the over. So give me DaVon Mitchell of the Heat for over 10.5 points. And before I get into these last 2 picks, if you guys could please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you just leave a comment for the algorithm? You can just say anything. Helps get the video out there for more people to see. You can just put a number there, like number 4. And also, if you just use Prizepicks and you want to get away from it or just have more options, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or Better. I know that's a lot of different ones, but they all have their pros and cons. They all have different profit boost and all that stuff. And promo code FINDAROUND11 will get you a 100% match up to $100 on all of them except for Underdog. Underdog is doing a bet 5 get 100 right now. Definitely check those out. Links are in the description. And this next play, when I saw it when it came out, like I was waiting on Raptors lines, and as soon as it came out, I was like, okay, I gotta take that. So Scottie Barnes over 4.5 assists versus the Bucks at -151. I love where this line came out at. He is a distributor. He's a really good passing forward. And when Emmanuel Quickly was out last year, he became like the point forward. Like he was just dishing the ball all over the place. And he's a great passer. So in the very first game this year, he had 13 potential assists. And normally you cut that in half. And if you cut that in half, you get 6.5. assists, but he came away with 9. So that's a very high conversion rate for him and his team. And the team is very talented this year with the Raptors. You know, Quickly can score, RJ Barrett can score, Brandon Ingram can score, Jakob Poeltl's not that bad, Grady Dick off the bench. Like, they're not a bad team, and he's got a lot of guys he can dish it to. So he hit this line in almost 70% of games last year. The Bucks were kind of in the middle of the league with giving up assists. And as far as pace goes, the Bucks to start the year's top 7 pace. I know every team's played like 1 game, couple have played 2. And they were kind of in the middle of the league for pace as well. So taking a look at the head-to-head, Scottie had 5 and 10 assists versus the Bucks last year. And the AI really likes this play with a 7.8 assist projection. So they expect him to, or it expects him to just crush it with 78% confidence. So I took a look at 6.5 assists. So to get 7 assists, so that goes in even with just the regular like Stone Age potential assist look. So 13 potential assists. If you can get that, you cut it in half, you get 6.5, and that's where this line is at. AI is projecting him for almost 8 total assists. So at 6.5 assists, you can get this for plus 250. And with him playing 30 minutes a game last year, he hit this at 45% hit rate. So almost half the time he was hitting this line with 7 or more assists, playing 30 or more minutes. I don't hate it for plus 250, so I just want to throw that out there for people who like those kind of longer shot plays to single bet on. So the initial prop that came out is 4.5, and I don't hate laddering it up to 6.5 there. We're just testing the AI. Let's see, if how accurate it can be. And then this last one, it's really take your pick when it comes to playing against the Hawks. The Hawks gave up the 5th most points last year, but they played at one of the fastest paces in the NBA last year, and it showed. In the very first game, the Raptors played against the Hawks, and they gave up 138 points. They just got absolutely crushed. They don't have much defense at all. I know Dyson Daniels is a great at getting blocks and steals, and he's a good defender. But other than that, they really struggled to stop the Raptors. So now they play against the Magic, and you have Franz Wagner there, you have Paolo Banchero there, and they just added Desmond Bane. So it's like, really take your pick. Paolo Banchero has great history versus him. If you take away the play-in game where the Magic blew out the Hawks by like 25 points, Paolo Banchero's hit over 25 plus in like 6 straight versus them. And then Franz Wagner is always, he's got a very high floor, very consistent shooter. But I like Desmond Bane. I'm going to go with Desmond Bane just because his line is a little bit lower. He's got good history versus him, and he did not shy away from taking shots in the first game. When he comes into a new team, you got a rising star in Paolo Banchero. You got like a secondary guy in Franz Wagner. Some guys would take a step back and be like, okay, I'm going to let them take a bunch of shots. But Desmond Bane is like, no, I'm going to lead the team in field goal attempts. I like Desmond Bane for over 17.5 points at minus 114 against this Hawks team. So he scored 23 points on 7 for 18 shooting in 33 minutes of play. Like I said, the Hawks gave up the 5th most points overall to teams, and they gave up the 2nd most points to the shooting guard position, and that showed. They got crushed by Grady Dick off the bench, the one shooting guard that played against them. So just taking a look at last year, when Bane played 30 or more minutes, he hit this line in 73% of games. I know a lot of that is with Ja Morant in and out, Jaren Jackson Jr. in and out. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of guys in and out. Completely different situation, but it's just a baseline of his history. So another baseline of history. I know this is with a different team. But his head-to-head versus the Hawks last year, he scored 23 points and 35 points, just absolutely just crushed them. But he did this on an average of 15.5 field goal attempts, so about 3 less than he got in that first game. So even if his field goal attempts just come down a little bit, he's at the average where he was taking last year, and he still would have crushed this line. So the AI likes him for 20 points, which I think is fair based off history. history and everything, and 70% confidence. So like Desmond Bane in this matchup, don't hate Paulo Banchero, don't hate Franz Wagner in this matchup as well. This is a very bad defense, and a lot of guys on the Raptors versus the Hawks 8. So you could do like a parlay of like Desmond Bane 15, Franz Wagner 20, Paulo Banchero 25. Just bump them down a little bit, or you could go crazy and do Desmond Bane like 20, and then Paulo Banchero for like 30, and you know, that's still plausible. Should be a lot of points scored in this one is basically what I'm saying. So not overthinking this one, and just sticking to the process. So if you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord, link is in the description. You can hop on in there, talk about basketball, football, college football, baseball, all that stuff, tennis. There's great tennis plays in there. It is completely free. You don't have to pay anything for any of those plays. It's just a community just coming together, bringing all their research together. So as far as a recap goes, on the last video, I am filming this at half of the fourth quarter of the first game. So I did have Chet Holmgren over 17.5 points, minus 102. He came out absolutely cold. He's just he played great in the opener, and he just came out and just brick, and it is what it is. Yeah, it's a long season going until, you know, June and all that. So we got a long way to go. A lot of picks to make, a lot of data to dive into. So can you get this one edited and get it out to you all? God bless you. It's fun around. My name is Jordan. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.